Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Today we continuing again with chapter 25, Al-Furqan. As we stopped last time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that a lot of people who will give their back to the message, the truth. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean by giving their back? Means they will reject. They will find any reason for not to believe in the true message. And the only message left uncorrupted, which is Islam. They gotta try to find any excuses. We said one of the excuses is self-conflict or conflict of interest. He can't. There is money involved. He can't change his job. There is interest involved. He can't stop from selling things. Equality. Islam is asking about equality and everybody has the same right. But in our societies, we have a class system which still exists. And this is, how a president or a king or a minister would be the same like an ordinary citizen. So all of these things, so many other reasons, family, people get convinced that Islam is the truth. Islam is the right thing. The Quran is unchanged word of God. Jesus is not son of God. But when it comes to do the change and revert to Islam or becoming a Muslim, my family, my father, my mother, and all of these things will let the person stop. Some people able to change, and some people are able to override all these challenges, and they will realize after that that they did the right step, the right achievement. Otherwise, if they succumb and stop and not going forward with what they believe they're right, they will lose. And that's what's happening. So a lot of people, because like we said, there's so many things involved. So the person who's going to be successful is the person who will get rid of all these challenges and become strong. You see how, and there's the example which I usually give is of people in their falsehood, in their challenge to Allah, to God. You know, all kind of sins they commit openly. They're don't care about their family, what they say about them. They don't care. For example, I mean, you see a lot of people are doing, a lot of things, which is, they don't care, especially in the Western society. They don't care. They can go to the furthest extent, and they don't care about what their family will say. I can be like this, like a gay, or I can be like a lesbian, or I can be this, I can be that. I can do, this, or I can do that. All of this stuff, they don't care. The devil gave them the strength to move forward. And they don't care about anybody. But when it comes to the truth, and it become a pious person, a person who has consciousness of God, you see the person is weak. He can't even challenge nobody. But when it comes to the falsehood, when it comes to the wrong things, you see the person is like, wow, have muscle. Oh, no. This is my freedom. My freedom to wear this. My freedom to say this. My freedom to act or become an actor in this kind of movie. So many things. So that's a very important point, that a believer means one of the names I can say bravery. It's somebody who is brave, somebody who has the strong and the strength to do things which will be most of the time against the norm. When somebody in a Western society become and accept Islam, in a lot of times he will face a lot of challenges. And it's not the norm, because the majority of the people don't like Islam. The majority of the people have the bad and the bad idea or not the correct idea about Islam. So by him or by her accepting Islam, following the commandments of Allah in the Quran and the way of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, so they becoming so brave. And once they become Muslims, you'll see their effect. I see a lot of them have way more strength to invite others to Islam. On the other hand, you see people who accepted Islam or by birth because their father was a Muslim or their mother was a Muslim, they're so weak when it comes to showing their belief, expressing their belief. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse 56, He's saying, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا مُبَشِّرًا وَنَذِيرًا. Indeed, your job, O messenger, is to give the good news, the glad tidings, or the good news. What does that mean? Good news about the paradise, good news about having a good life when you become, good news about becoming happy in this life when you accept and you become a real believer, an authentic believer. And that's also extend to who? To Muslims who really live in the West, for example, that their job also to do the same thing, to convey the message of Islam, to talk to the people about Islam, about the goodness in Islam, about how Islam and why Islam is the truth. That's their job. وَنَذِيرًا, and they tell them also, give them the warning that we already are doing our job, and we're telling you that if you don't take that message seriously, if you don't accept that message, you will be sitting there in hell. It's as simple as it is, because that's what the Quran says. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why is that? Because a lot of people, they get emotional. The Prophet ﷺ also, emotions. He would love everybody to accept the message. He knows that he has the right product. He knows that he has the truth, but nobody's buying that product from him. So you're frustrated. Imagine you're a company and you are manufactured one of the best cars. Everything is perfect. That car will never gonna stop working. But unfortunately, bad advertisement. Unfortunately, wrong media, false news. People keep making accusation against your product. So that's why the Prophet, he feels emotionally sad. Emotionally, what's happening? I want everybody to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, just leave emotions. And this is also for us. Leave emotions. Your message is to simply tell the people what Islam is all about, and what will happen to us and everybody after death. That's it. People accept it. accept, it's for them. People they don't accept it, it's also for them. That's the main, but we would love everybody to accept it. But unfortunately, if it's not in our hand, but in our hand is the giving that message, delivering that message. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, قُلْ مَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ إِلَّا مَنْ شَاءَ. Then the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah is telling him that you are not there for collecting money. They're going to try to offer you money. They're going to try to bribe you with all kind of things. They will give you the house, will make you the richest, will make you this, will make you that. This is not your job. Your job is to deliver the message. And again, you'll see the same thing happening nowadays. You see these people in any religion, priests, for example, in the Christian faith. Do they really conveying and they're really giving the message only for the well-being, only for the faith itself, or to enrich themselves? So many examples. You have a guy like Joe Osteen, for example, in Texas. His net worth is almost $200 million. And he's talking about enriching himself more and more. So it become a business. Religion nowadays become a business. And again, anybody who's trying to make business out of religion, remember, it's a false message. A real message, a true message will take money away from the religion. Money is not part of the religion. Somebody who sincerely and truthfully doing the job of the messengers, inviting people towards Islam or towards Christianity or towards, he's never going to ask for donations for himself. He's not going to ask for help for himself. And that's what it is. A lot of people, because you know what? You cannot mix money and religion together. Because the money at a certain time will become the motive on how you will shape the message which you will deliver. For example, if I want to talk about people giving money, I have to talk about charity. There is if I have a congregation, for example, and this congregation, some of them are doing things they're not supposed to do. Some of them, for example, in Islamic religion, they're not supposed to sell alcohol. They're not supposed to sell cigarettes. They're not supposed to sell hookah. They're not supposed to do this. And you have your congregation who come in the mosque. They are doing all of those. So if that motive become me collecting, I won't be able to criticize them. I won't even to tell them what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that you're not supposed to sell this kind of merchandise. So again, the same rules which are the rules which the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ abided with, it's the same rules for any person who's going to talk about religion. Which is religion and money don't mix. You cannot be inviting people, oh, I have a seminar, $100, $200 for a seminar. It doesn't work. The religion is supposed to be the message, it's for everybody free. Collect money somewhere else. Do some other way which you can raise funds. But for the message, for the truth, you cannot charge money. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling him, you're not going to take money for that. This is not money. If there's no money involved, and that same thing applies to us nowadays. Again, any person you see online, oh, donate for me. Go find a job. If you're really sincere about talking about Islam, or you're sincerely talking about Christianity, or you're sincerely talking about Judaism, okay, do not ask for donations. Go find a job. Go support yourself somewhere else. Because at a certain time, once you see some kind of material or some kind of subjects, you collecting more money, that's where the temptation, the desires start to happen. Oh, let me emphasize on that. Let me make more of that kind of product, or focus on that kind of issue, because I'm making more money. People are donating more when I'm talking about Palestine. So let me talk about that issue. People are talking more about when I'm talking about political instability. Let me focus more on that issue. People are talking more when I talk about this and that. Let me focus. So the money was gonna corrupt everything. So anybody, I will tell him, collecting money for the sake of the religion, go find a job. Okay? Don't put the link to gain donations, because your message will go anywhere, because you're contaminating the words, the message of Allah with money. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, there is no money which will compensate for that message. And money and religion cannot mix. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, the only thing you're looking for, you're seeking, is somebody who will join you. Somebody who will take the same road, same route of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. The route of there is only one messenger, there is only one God worthy of worship, who is Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for men who are not swayed, who are not deceived by money, by status, by authority. They are on the straight path all the time. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه.